Hello. Hi, I'm here to teach you about animals and get you excited about wildlife conservation, teach you about all the amazing different species around the world, and show you the small little things that you can do to help make a difference in the world. And I really hope you enjoy it and you get out there into the wild and see these beautiful, amazing animals and love them just the way I do. Now, one of the subjects I'm extremely passionate about is animals with a bad reputation. These monster animals, the creepy crawlies, the ugly animals, the animals where they don't receive love. You know, I can show you a giraffe. I love giraffes, they're beautiful. I can show you lions and tigers and elephants and pandas. And you'll fall in love with them. I guarantee that, because you're already going to have that love. But there's loads of animals out there that are known as demons, and thanks to different religions, they're known as satanic. And this affects their conservation value. You know, when people are trying to raise money to help these species or protect habitat to protect these species, they don't receive it. They don't receive it the same as the elephants would and tigers would. Not to say that tigers and elephants don't need conservation. They really, really do. But a lot of other animals are so important to the ecosystem, extremely important. And they don't receive the love they do because of that negative reputation they have. And one of those animals we're going to talk about today is the piranha, the red bellied piranha. First of all, red bellied piranhas, they're one of the many species of piranhas. There are various different species, and quite a lot of them are vegetarian as well, or omnivores. And the red bellied piranha is no different. The red bellied piranha are omnivorous. They will eat leaves and fruits and nuts as well. And they live in South America in fresh water, known as white water, but they can also be found in clear water as well, and be found in the flooded forests during the rainy season, when the trees and the plants, animals like monkeys and birds will knock off fruits, or the fruits will just drop out the water and they fall into the water, and the piranhas will feed on this. But they're also omnivores as well. Now they have this ferocious reputation as being a deadly, strip a horse in under a minute, things like that. But they actually take on things like smaller fish, bugs, insects, worms, things like that in the water. Now they're not known to hunt in packs. You know, they're shoaling fish, piranhas, but don't believe in everything Hollywood shows you where they swim together looking for their next victim. That doesn't happen. No. Piranhas will shoal together as a defense. So piranhas are important food for many other species in their habitat in the Amazon and the other rivers around there. So they provide food for river dolphins, giant otters, caiman, and other large predatory fish will prey on the piranhas, as well as people will eat piranha as well. They're an important food source there. So they will come together and they'll use that as a defense. And if they do feel threatened, then they can bite. They've got sharp teeth, as you are fully aware. But they do not sought after humans. Now, having said this, there have been cases of attacks on humans. Unfortunately, human life, people have died. You know, it's one of those things, you are living in that part of the world. But usually, when piranhas attack are under severe circumstances. There's a huge drop of food. So usually during the dry season, where water levels have dropped significantly, there's less oxygen in the water. There's less food around, and piranhas become hungry, they're more stressed, and attacks can happen. But generally speaking, piranhas do not go out seeking people. One fact, they done an experiment where a guy, I can't name him because I don't want to be sued, but he proved piranhas in a great way. He went into a swimming pool, filled with piranhas, and he cut his hand, blood, you know, and the piranhas did not attack him. They left him alone. And myself, I've worked with piranhas, and woohoo, look, I got my fingers and toes. They did not bite me, they just left me alone. The piranhas have no interest in me whatsoever. They do eat meat, and being predatory, piranhas are actually more of a scavenger. So when carrying, dead bodies are around, then they're more likely. Piranhas are sophisticated eaters. They're scavengers, and even when they hunt, they're very sophisticated. Now, you may be aware of frenzies, food frenzies in loads of different other species of fish. And have you ever been snorkeling and you go on one of these boats and they throw bread and bananas in the water? You see loads of fish coming up to eat those bread and banana. It is a huge mass, but they're not trying to eat you. And it's the same with piranhas. When there's lots of food available, there'll be a feeding frenzy. But when the piranhas come in, they're not all in on one mass together. It'll be one fish comes in, another fish comes in. As one fish leaves, another fish goes in. One fish comes in and goes away, another fish comes in. They are polite. They have manners, okay? They're not destroying each other. So they do not deserve this reputation. Now, having said this, piranhas are very popular pets in the exotic pet trade, in the aquarium trade. People love to have piranhas because, the reputation, they make them very desirable. But you have to remember, they can have other tank mates, but they are known to nip. And this is not just for piranhas. The whole family, the piranhas actually related to the tetras. And tetras do like to nip fishes with long tails. And piranhas have been known to nip like angelfish tails. When they do come from the same location in South America. So this is something where you have to bear in mind. Piranhas can nip, and when you are having fish in an aquarium, it's a confined space. It's not a huge river, it's not a huge lake. Doesn't matter how big your aquarium is, it'll never replicate the wild. And it affects animals mentally, and they start to behave differently in captivity as they would in the wild. And that's where accidents can also happen if you're keeping piranhas. If you're in a tank and your hand's going around like that in a tank, piranhas might feel threatened. If you call a piranha, it's more likely to bite you, and hurt you. So things like that can happen. If you are going to be buying a piranha, you should really do your research, speak to some specialists, speak to us, really, about piranha behavior. And there's lots of other piranha keepers out there who can give you great advice, as well as naturalists. The internet can be a great source if you know where to look and know who to ask, can teach you some amazing things, just like myself on this channel can. But piranhas do not deserve that reputation. And one of the reasons for this reputation is actually down to Theodore Roosevelt, the American president, or Teddy Roosevelt. Now, Teddy Roosevelt was a huge animal lover. That's how he got the name Teddy, after he loved the bears. That's a whole different story. But he loved animals, and he went on an expedition in the Amazon, I believe between 1912 to 1914. He went on an expedition, and the local people, they really wanted to impress Theodore Roosevelt. So they told him these stories and tales of the ferocious piranhas what strip a man down to the bone in a matter of minutes. Strip a horse down in a minute. And they really wanted to press him. He didn't see this, and as far as we know, Theodore Roosevelt did not know about the long tail. He thought it was true. Why would you not believe these people? They live with the fish, you're going to believe them. So they wanted to press them. And then when he come back to America and he's told people, about the man-eating piranhas which strip a man down to the bone, people believed it, and since then it caught on. And what like Hollywood likes to do, glamorize and give animals a bad name, such as wolves and sharks and hyenas. And no, the same as piranhas. If you've ever seen the movies, I can't tell you the name of those movies in case I get sued again, but they're named after what the animal we're talking about. We see victims being stripped to the bones. That does not happen. Piranhas also do not live in salt water, so don't worry about piranhas being at the beach. Okay, they're freshwater fish, and there's no piranhas in the rivers in the United States, and there's no rivers here in the UK what hold piranhas. They're found in the hot tropics. So it's a much undeserved reputation. Now, one thing about piranhas is they're very popular, as I mentioned, in the exotic pet trade. And, they're very desirable. And, if you're a youngster, you want to fish tank or an aquarium, you want the cool animals. So that's understandable. Piranhas are awesome animals. I can see the draw and the attraction to having these animals are fantastic. But, you know, they are hard to look after. Now, the reason they're hard to look after, piranhas, as polite as they are when they're eating, they're very, very messy, you know, and they need good water conditions. So if you're giving them meat and vegetation and they're tearing it apart, it's going to all settle in the tank and it's going to cause the water to become irritated. You know, you're going to have to do a lot of water changes, which is going to cost you money. And piranhas grow pretty fast. So a lot of pet stores and aquarium trades, unfortunately, you know, they want to make money. You know, obviously it's a business. So they just sell you the fish, and a lot of piranhas, like other predatory large fish, a lot of catfish, just generally a lot of fish are sold very, very small like this. You know, you can buy 3 for £5 or 3 for $5, wherever you're from. Sell them that big, and then they grow. So piranhas, the red-bellied piranha, on average grows to around about 14 inches, but they can grow to 20 inches, almost 2 feet, which is big. You're going from that big to that big. It's very, very big. And they're shoaling animals as well. They should never have piranha just by itself in a tank, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You know, it's going to stress it out. You want the shoaling fish, they come together as the defense to make them feel secure, like other shoaling fish. So if you are going to buy one of these fish, first of all, you should have kept a lot of other tropical fish as well. Be used to doing lots of water changes, preferably kept other predatory fish. Prepared to spend a lot of money. You can spend a lot of money in plants as well. And have the space, because you buy a tank like that to keep a piranha in, or like that, it's still not big enough. You need a big tank, you know, and the more fish you have, the more space. You know, they need lots and lots of oxygen, because you don't want to give them stress when you're putting your hand in there to clean your glass to make it look all pretty for when your friends come around and you can show off how amazing you are for keeping red-bellied piranhas. You know, you're not a James Bond villain with a little button, you know, where you're going to feed people who don't like the piranhas, as cool as that sounds. So please do your research. I don't want to give a bad name to anybody, but I'm pretty sure there are piranha keepers out there who've done their research and have some amazing tanks or amazing tropical ponds, and they've given his fish the best life. You can never replicate the wild. People can have many different views on keeping these animals as exotic, as pets in trade. You can never replicate the wild, but if you are going to keep one of these animals in captivity, or many of these animals in captivity, do your research. It's extremely important, because you are taking on a living creature. Just remember that, okay? And then plus you'll benefit from having these fish. They're expensive animals, you know? So, you know, you don't want your fish to die. You know, if you're keeping them, do your research. Like I said, there's lots of different places you can contact as well. Lots of different hobbyist aquarium keepers. You're going to have all the different groups on social media. But if not, you can reach out to us, animal behaviorists. But when you reach out to us, we're not going to tell you you need a minimum of this. We're going to give you all the information to put you off. Now, the reason why we want to put you off, so you make the right decision. We give you all the questions for you to answer. So if you do tick every single answer we give you, and you still feel like you can keep that animal, you're going to keep that animal in the best way possible. And just remember, once again, piranhas are not evil monster fish. They're not out to get you. Okay, give them some love. Show them the same love you would do for a lion or a dolphin. You know, they don't deserve this nasty reputation. They're beautiful animals. Okay, show them some love for conservation, and you know, that's all. And I'm pretty sure we'll do some more videos further down the line with other animals with a negative reputation and how you can help them. But I really hope you enjoyed this video this time. Please like, share. You can always message us about any animal, ask us about any question through email, through social media. We're everywhere, and we're just here to make a difference and get you excited about wildlife conservation. But until next time,